Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So in this video I'm going to show you how you can create this fully stack CRUD application. So let me just show you the demo of the application. So if you just click onto this add user, so this will open this add new user form. So you can just type the name, something like John Doe, and you can just type the email, something like john@gmail.com, and also you can just put the address, something like Canada. And if I just click enter or submit, so you can see the pop-up. So we will be using the React hot toast to implement this pop-up. And similarly, so you can see the button of update and delete. So if you just click onto this update button here, and if you just update the email, so let me just update the email, something like 123, and let me just update the name into John only, and you can just update the address as well. So you can just say something like US, and if I just click on submit, so you can see so this has been updated and also see the pop-up. And similarly, so we can just click onto this delete button to delete the user information. So if I just click on delete, so you can see the user deleted successfully and it has been removed. And similarly, let me just delete this one, so you can see there is no data to display, so you can add the user to show into the user table. So this is how the application works. So to implement this application, so I will be using the React and Bootstrap into the front end, and similarly MongoDB, Express and Node.js for backend. And for pop-up, so as I said, so I will be using the React hot toast. So let's get started. So now to get started, so let me just open the Visual Studio Code. So if you are comfortable with other ID, so you can go with that as well. So let me just here just go into this Explorer, and you can just click into this new folder, and let me just navigate into the desktop. So you can just create new folder. So let me just call it Monstack. So you can just give a name whatever you want. So let's create a Monstack folder inside the desktop, and let me just simply click on open. So inside here, so we will be creating the client and React folder. So client is basically for React app, and the server is for Express application. So let me just create a new folder, and let me call it server. And later we will be creating the client app, which is the React application. For now, let me just navigate into the server. So let me just click onto this terminal, new terminal, and let me just type cd and server. So let me just go inside the server, and let me just initialize this server with the npm package. So for that, you can just type npm init and just click enter. So you can just give the package name, or you can just simply click enter and just give the description, something like Monstack, and we will keep the entry point as index.js. So we will later be creating this file as well, and you can just click enter. So you can just type the keyword as well. So let me just type the author name, code with Arjun. So you can just type your name and just click enter. So this will initialize this server with the package.json here. So now we should be installing the different packages. So before that, let me just create a file index.js inside this server. So let me just click on new file, and you can just type index.js. So we will be writing the code inside here. So before that, let me just install the required package. So let me just go into this package.json. So the package we will be installing will be the body parser, .env, and Express and Mongoose. So let's install one by one. So before that, let me just go into the browser and just go into this npm.js. So you can just simply search for npmjs.com. So just go inside here. So you can now simply search for the required dependency. So the first one we will be installing is .env. So .env is basically for loading the environment variable from the .env file. So we will be creating the .env file later on. So for now, let me just simply paste that and click enter. So this will install this .env dependency inside here. So once you install this .env, so we will now be installing the body parser. So body parser is basically a middleware for Express application. So let me just go with this body parser. Let me just simply copy this, and let me just simply paste inside this terminal. So let me just click enter. So this will also install this body parser. And similarly, so we will be installing the Express as well. So let me just click on Express. So Express is basically a web framework, so we will be using. So let me just simply copy this, and let me just paste inside here. So this will install this Express dependency as well. And similarly, so we will also be using the Mongoose. So the Mongoose is basically for connecting with the MongoDB database. So let me just simply paste inside the server. So this will install this mongoose dependency as well. So once these all dependencies are installed, so we just have to install the NodeMon as well. So the NodeMon is basically used for running the Node.js application. So this will also reload automatically whenever we save the application. So let me just install this as a dev dependency since we don't need this for production. So let me just simply install into this package.json. So here you can see, so the NodeMon has been installed as a dev dependency. So once this is done, so we just have to now write the code to connect the Express application with the MongoDB database. So for that, just go into this index.js. So here we just need to simply import the dependencies. So just import Express from Express, which we have just installed, and similarly we just have to import the mongoose as well. So just type mongoose from mongoose, and similarly, so we just have to import the body parser as well. So just type body parser from the body parser, and similarly we just have to import the .env. So now we will be creating the .env file as well. So for now, let me just simply import this, and we just have to first of all create the .env file. So let me just click on server here, and we will just create the file inside this server folder. So let me just type .env, and inside this .env, so we just have to write the configuration. So first of all, so we will just write the port in which we will be running our backend application. So let me just type something like 8000, and also we just have to write the MongoDB URL. So you can just give the name something like Mongo URL. And so before putting the URL, so we just have to connect or create the MongoDB database as well. So for that, we just have to install the MongoDB Compass. So if you don't know how to install that, so I've got separate video for that, how you can install the MongoDB and MongoDB Compass. So once you do that, so I will just put the link into the description. So just check out on there and just install the MongoDB Compass and just simply open that. And here you can just simply click on connect. So this will connect with the MongoDB database, and if you just click onto this here, so you can just see the copy connection string. So just simply copy that and just go into the VS Code and just open the code and just simply paste here and here. So we just have to write the database name. So now to create the new database, you can just simply click onto this plus sign here, and you can just give the database name. So we can just give something like MERN, and just give the collection name something like users, and just click on create database. So you can see the MERN database has been created and with the collection users. So now again go to the VS Code and just simply put the name of the database, which is MERN, which we have just created from this MongoDB Compass. So let me just minimize this, and now let me just again go into this index.js. So here let me just simply create the instance of Express application. So just type const app and just type Express and just give the parenthesis, and similarly apply the JSON parsing middleware. So for that we can just type app.use and just type body parser.json, and again give the parenthesis and just give the semicolon. And finally we can just load the environment variable from .env file. So for that we can just type .env .config and just give the parenthesis and semicolon. So this will load the configuration which we have just created in the .env file. So now we can just simply use the port and MongoDB URL. So just type const and just type port, and to load the environment you can just type process.env.port, so which is the exact name which we have given into the .env, which is port. And similarly we can just give the default port as well. So let me just give something like 7000, and similarly so we just have to write the MongoDB URL as well. So just type mongo URL and just type process.env and just type the exact name which we have given into this .env file. So let me just simply copy this from here and again go into this index.js and simply paste inside here and just give the semicolon. So this will load this port and Mongo URL. So once this is done, so now we will be writing the code for connecting with the MongoDB database. So for that, we will be using the mongoose and just type .connect and just provide the MongoDB URL. And if the connection is successful, so you can just type .then. So just give the arrow function here and simply print something like db connected successfully. So just type that, and also we just have to type something like app.listen and just provide the port number and just simply write the arrow function here and just print something like server is running. And also don't forget to put this backtick sign here, so this will print the value. So just type running on port and just type something like the dollar and the curly braces and just type port. So this will print the port on which the server is running on. So now, so we can just give the semicolon here, and if there is any error, so we can just catch it by just typing catch and just type error and just give the arrow function here and just type console.log and just print the error. So whatever error you get, so just simply print that, and you can just simply save this. So since I am using this prettier formatter, so this has reformatted this in a beautiful looking manner. So if you want to install the prettier, so I have got separate video for that as well, so you can just check out on the description. So once you connect the Express application with the MongoDB database, so now we will be creating the folder structure. So for that, again click onto this server, and first of all, so we will be creating the model folder. So inside here, so we will be creating a file called user model. So this user model or this model is basically for managing the structure of data and interaction with the database. And similarly, so we will also be creating the controller. So just type controller. So inside here, so we will be creating the user controller .js. So the controller is basically for handling the request and for processing the data and also generating the responses as well. And similarly, the last one, so we will be creating the routes. So just type routes, and inside here, so we will be creating the user route.js. So this route or this user route is basically for defining the endpoint of the application and also map them to the specific controller method. So let's start writing the code from this user model. So let's start writing the code from this user model. So inside this user model, so let's first of all import the mongoose library for MongoDB interaction. So just type import mongoose from mongoose. So just type mongoose here, and now so just define the schema for user data. So just type const user schema and just type new mongoose dot schema. So just type schema. So inside here, so just define the fields. So we will be using the name, email and address field. So first of all, so let's define the name field. So the type of the name will be string, and we can just type the constraint something like required and just type true. And similarly, let me just copy this name and just type comma here and just type comma and again paste here, and you can just simply edit this name into email, and the type will be string again, and just type address and the type will be string. So once this is done, so we just have to export the mongoose model based on the defined schema. So just type export. So at the bottom, so just type export default and just type mongoose dot model, and so we will be using the name users and just type user schema. So once this is done, so now go to this user controller. So inside this user controller, so we just have to simply import the user model. So this user model, so to import that, you can just simply type import and just give the name something like user from and just type model from model. So the name of the file is user model.js. So once you import the user model as user, so now we will be writing the code to add the data into the database. So for that, we will be creating a asynchronous function called create. So let's type export and create a function called create, and let's make it asynchronous with the parameter request and response. And inside here, so we will be writing the try catch block to handle the error. So just type try catch, and so this will automatically write this catch block here. So inside this catch block, so we will handle the error if any occurs during the process. So just type response.status, and so we will just provide the status code something like 500 for internal server error, and just provide the JSON response with the error message. So just type error and just type message, and here so just type error dot message. So just type message, and inside the try block, so we will be writing the code to insert the data into the database. So first of all, let's create a new user object. So just type const and just give the object name something like new user, and just type new, and just type user, and just type request dot body. So once you create a new user object, so let's extract the email from the new user. So just type const and just type email. So just type new user. So this will extract the email, and we just have to check if there is any user with the same email address. So if the user with the same email address already exists, so we will display the error message. So for that, you can just type const user exist, and just type await, and user dot, we will be using the find one method. So this will find the email. So just type if the user already exists, so we just have to return the response something like so just type return response dot status. So we will be writing the status. So we will just provide the 400 bad request status code, and just type JSON. So we will just return the message something like user already exist, and just simply save this one. And if the user doesn't exist, so we can just save the new user. So we can just type const, and we can just save the user into the save data, and just type await, and just type new user. So just type new user dot save method. So we will be simply using this save method. So this will save the user, and we just have to return the response. So just type response dot status and 200 OK status, and in JSON, so we will just simply display the user data. So let's simply save this one. And once this is done, so now we just have to manage the route as well for this create method. So for that, let me just go into this user route which we have created. So inside this route, so we will be first of all importing the Express library. So just simply import Express from Express, and also we just have to import the function, so which is the create here. So just simply type import and just give the curly braces and just type create from this controller.js. So just don't forget to write .js as well. So once you import this create method, so we just have to simply create an Express router instance. So just type const, just type route, and just type express.router. And similarly, so we just have to type the route dot post. So this post is basically a HTTP method for posting the data into the database or creating the data into the database. So just type slash user. So this is basically a route, and so we just have to write the create method which we have just imported here. So once this is done, so we just have to export the route as well. So just type export default and just type route. And once this is done, so let me again go into this index.js. So here we just have to import the route. So for that, just type import a route from routes user.js. So just don't forget to write this .js as well, otherwise this will give this error. So once you import this route inside this index.js, so we just have to simply mount the middleware. So for that, you can just simply type app.use and just type /API use. So you can just give the additional route, and we just have to write the route here. So just simply save this application. So here you can see, so the application is running successfully. So now once this is done, so now we can test our API. So to test API, so I will be using the Postman. So just type Postman. So I have already installed the Postman. So if you don't know how to install, so I will put the link into the description. So you can just simply download the Postman. So once you download and install the Postman, so you can just click onto this create new collection and click on blank collection, and we can just give the name something like Monstack. So let me just give the name something like Monstack, and inside here let me just click on add request. So since we're doing for post or creating the new data, so just click on post, and inside this URL, so we just have to simply type http and just type / localhost. And since we are running our application in 8000 port, so just simply type 8000 / and since we are using this route /API, so just simply type that /API. And in user route, so we have used /user, so just simply type /user, and this should be okay. So now just click onto this body, and here just click onto this raw, and so we just have to provide the JSON body. So inside here, so we just have to type the fields. The first field will be name. So since we have provided the name, email, and address, so we just have to simply write that. So just provide the name, something like John, just type John Doe, and we just have to provide the email as well. So just type email : so let me just zoom so that it will be easier for you to see. So let me just type John @gmail.com, and also so we just have to provide the address as well. So just type address, and the address will be something like Canada, so you can just provide the address. And if you just click onto this send here, so this is saying something like the user validation field, the address is required. So this is saying, so I think we have done something wrong here. So you can see, so we have only added add-ress, so we just have to put add-ress. So once we correct this address, so you can just simply save, and if I just now click on send here, so you can see, so this is showing the JSON response. So it means the application is running successfully and the code is also working. So now if I just go into this MongoDB Compass to check if the data is coming into the database or not, so if I just click onto this reload here, so you can see the data is coming into this database as well. So similarly, let me just try another one as well. So let me just try something like demo user. So just type demo user and just give the email something like demo, and you can just provide the address something like US. And if I just click on send, so here you can see the response, and the status code is 200. Okay. And if I just go into this MongoDB Compass and reload, so you can see the demo user is coming successfully. And also, so if I just go into the VS Code and see on user controller, so you can see, so we are checking the email address as well. So if the user has the same email address, so this should show the error something like the user already exists. So if I again try to send the same data with the same email address, demo@gmail.com, click on send, so you can see the error message, the user already exists. And also if I just reload here, so the data is not coming since we are using the same email address. So this is how you can insert the data into the database. So once you write the code for inserting the data into the database, so now let's write a code for getting all the users from the database. So for that, let's create a function inside this user controller file. So let's type export and just create a function called get all users, and let's make it asynchronous with the parameter request and response. And inside here, so let's create a try catch block. So here you can just paste the same error handling with the response status 500, which is internal server error, and display the error message. And inside here, so let's write a code. So first of all, let's retrieve all the data from the database. So for that, we will be using the find method. So let's create a variable called user data, and let's store inside it, and let's type await. And since we will be using the find method, so just type user.find. So this will retrieve all the data from the database. And so if there is no user, so we will be saying something like if there is no user, so just type user data. So if there is no user data, or the user data length is equals, so just provide 3 equals 0, then so we just have to return the response, something like just type return response dot status. So we will be returning the 404 not found status, and just provide the message in JSON, something like just type something like user data not found. So just simply save that. And so if there is any user, so we just have to return the users in the JSON response. So just type response dot status. So just provide the status scores 200, okay, and just type JSON. And so we just have to display the data which is retrieved from the database. So just type user data, and just simply save that. So once you write this, so we just have to configure the route as well. So just go into this user route, and here, so just simply type route dot get. So just simply type get. So this is the get HTTP method, and so we just have to give the route something like you can say users, and here just provide comma, and so we just have to insert the method, so which is get all users. So make sure to import here as well. So once this is done, so now we should be able to go. So let's save this and just go inside this Postman, and here in the MERN stack, so just simply click here and click on add request. And here, so we just have to choose this get HTTP method, and here, so instead of this API user, so we just have to type API slash user. So just type HTTP localhost 8000 API slash user. So since we are using users here, and the API is from this index.js. So now let me again go to the Postman, and so let me just click on send. So you can see, so this will display all the data on the database into the JSON response. So once you write the code for getting all users from the database, so let's write a code for getting the user with the specific ID. So for that, let's create a function called get user by ID. So let's write export and create a function. So just type const get user by ID, and just write async with the request and response parameter. And inside here, so again just write try catch. So inside the catch block, so we will just handle the error with the 500 status code. And similarly inside the try block, so first of all, so we will be extracting the user from the parameter. So in parameter, so we will be basically passing the ID. So what I mean by that is, so in this parameter, so we will just provide the ID. So for that, we will just write something like const ID equals request dot params dot ID. So we will just extract the ID from the parameter in the URL, and now we will source for the user in the database by the ID. So just type const user exist, and just type await user dot. So we will just use the method something called find by ID, and just provide the ID inside here. And now we just have to check if the user exists or not. So for that, just type if user doesn't exist. So just type user doesn't exist. So we just have to write the same kind of message. So let me just simply copy it from here. So user data not found, and 404 not found status code. So let's paste inside here, and let's change the message here. So user not found only. So let's save this. And if there is any user, so we just have to return that user. So just type response dot status, and just type 200 OK. And in JSON response, so we just have to simply return the user which is extracted with that ID. So let's save this one, and again just go into the user route here. So inside here, so just type route.get, and inside here, so we just have to type /user/:id. So since we will be providing the ID here, so just type :id and just provide the method, so which is get user by ID, and make sure to import here. So this will automatically import if you just click enter. So once this is done, so now we should be able to test in the Postman. So let me just go into the Postman, and again let me just create a new request. So just type add request, and so let's type http localhost 8000 API/user/. So if I just go into this one, so you can see the ID. So we just have to simply copy this ID and just go inside here and simply paste inside here. So since in the route we can see so we are passing user and the ID. So since we are passing ID here, if I just click on send, so this is returning the user information with that specific ID. So let's try with the different ID. So here you can see, so this is the John Doe. So let's try this one. So this should display the information of this one. So let me just simply replace with this one, and if I just click on send, so you can see the demo user. So this is how you can extract the user with the specific ID. So now let's write a code for updating the user information from the database. So for that, again come to this user controller. So inside here, so let's create a method called update. So let's write export const and just type update, and just create a synchronous function update with the parameter request and response. And inside here again type try catch. So simply just copy this error handling internal server error from get user by ID method. So let's go inside here the try block. So inside here, so again we just have to get the ID from the parameter. So let me just simply copy the same thing from here until this user exists. So just copy and just simply paste inside here. So we will just check the user by ID. So if the user doesn't exist with that ID, so we will just display user not found. So if there is any user, so we will now update that user. So for that, let me just type await and just simply type user dot, and so we will be using the method something called find by ID and update. So you can just see find by ID and update, and we will just pass the parameter ID and also request dot body, and similarly, so we'll just type new. So just type new true. So here you can see the three parameters: ID, requested body, and new column true. So this ID will basically extract the user information from the parameter, and this requested body is basically for updating the user from the request body. So new column true will basically specify that the function should return the updated document rather than the original one. So once this is done, so we just have to basically send the response. So just type response.status and just type 200 OK. So just send the 200 OK status code. So in JSON, so we will basically display this updated data. So let's store this inside some variable. So let's call it const updated data, and we will just return this in the JSON. So just type updated data. So just simply save that and just go into the user route. So here, so we just have to type route dot, so just type put. So put is basically for updating. So this is the HTTP method for update. So inside this put, so we just have to type something like update. So just type update slash user slash. So since we will be passing the ID here as well, so just type ID and just simply get that method of update from the controller. So just be sure to import here as well. So just pass that here, and now we should be able to test our API in the Postman. So just go inside the Postman, and again let me just add a new request, and instead of this get, so we just have to change this into put. So inside here, so just simply provide the URL. So the URL should be something like http //localhost 8000 / API / so since we have provided update user and the ID, so just simply type update /user / so we just have to put the ID. So just we just want to update this demo user, so let me just simply copy this ID from here and simply paste inside here. And in the body, so we just have to simply pass the JSON, so just choose raw here, and so we just have to provide the JSON body. So let me just go into the post here, so this is showing get here, so just save this, and let me just simply copy this from here and just go inside the put, and let me just simply paste inside here. And instead of this demo user, so we just want this to be something like Lina, and just provide the email something like lina@gmail.com. and if I just click on send, so this should have displayed this updated data Lina and the email lina@gmail.com. so if I just try to check this data into the database, so this should have updated here. So originally it's demo user and demo@gmail.com, and if I just refresh this, so you can see the data has been successfully updated. So it means the update functionality is also working. So once this is done, so now we will be writing the code for deleting the user from the database. So for deleting the user from the database, so let's again go to the user controller here, and at the bottom, so let me just simply create a function called delete user. So just type export and just simply type const delete user, and let's make it asynchronous with the request and response parameter. And inside here again just type try catch, so just try catch, and just simply copy this from here and just simply paste here. And inside the try block, so we will again just provide this ID from the parameter, so just simply copy this one from here and paste inside here. So we will also check if the user doesn't exist with that specific ID, so we will just display the message something like user not found. So if any user exists with that specific ID, so we will just delete that ID. So just simply type something like await and just type user dot find by ID. So we will just use this method called find by ID and delete, and we will just simply provide the ID inside here. And in response, so we will just type response dot status. So we will just provide the status code 200 OK, and just type the JSON, and in JSON, so we will just provide the message something like user deleted successfully. So let me just save this one and again go to the user route, and here similarly we will just type route, and the HTTP method will be delete. So just type delete, and you can just simply type something like delete /user /:ID, and just type delete user from the user controller, and make sure to import here. So just simply save this one, and so this has automatically reformatted from this prettier. So once this is done, so now we should be able to delete our data from the database. So for delete, so we will just create a new request. So let me just click here and click on add request. So instead of this get, so we will just choose delete, and here, so let me just click here, and we just have to type delete user, and so we can see the user ID. So if I just click on send, so this will say something like the user deleted successfully. And so if I just now go into the MongoDB compass here and reload, so this should have deleted one of the data from here. So let me just reload, so you can see it. So this has deleted this one. So now if I just click again send here, so this should show user not found. So since we have shared this error message user not found inside here. So this is how you can delete the user data from the database. So we have successfully created our backend application where we have created this CRUD API using the Express and MongoDB. So now we will be creating a React application for frontend. So for that, you can just simply click on plus sign here. So here, let me just simply create a React application inside this Stack folder. So to create a React application, you can just simply type npx create -react app, and you just need to give the name of the application. So let me just simply give something like client and click enter. So this should create a React application with the name client.
One eternity later.
So you can see the React application has been created. So let me just type cd and let me just go inside the client and just click enter. So to start the React application, you can just simply type npm start. So this should start the React application. So you can see, so this has redirected us to this browser, and it is starting on localhost 3000. So let's make some changes. So for that, let me just click here and click onto this client and just go inside the source. So you can see on app.js, so you can see on the header, so the content is displaying from this header. So let me just simply clear this header, and you can just simply type something like this is a React app and just save this. So you can see, so the changes has been already displayed here. So here on the folder, so folder structure, so we didn't need some of the files, so you can just simply delete this app.test. So you can just simply right click and delete, and we didn't need this logo.spg, so let me just simply delete. You can just press Ctrl and delete to delete that as well. So let me just delete this report wave, and we don't need this as well, so you can just delete these files. And now if you just go into this index.js, so you can see, so we don't need this, and also we don't need this as well, so let me just delete this as well. And similarly, so if you just go into this app.js, so we don't need this logo, so let me just remove this as well. And similarly, so we didn't need this index.css as well, so let me just delete this one as well. And also let's remove this import index.css. And on app.css, so let me just clear the whole content, and let me just simply give body, and inside here let me just give the background color something like Alice blue, and let me just save. So you can see the color has been changed, and this is showing this is React app. So once this is done, so let me just install the packages required for building our application. So let me just go inside the package.json. So let's install inside here. So for that, again go into this npm.js, and the first dependency we will be installing is Bootstrap. So just type Bootstrap and just go into this first one, and you just need to simply click here npm install Bootstrap. We just have to install inside the client. So for that, you can just simply create a new terminal, and here let me just navigate into the client first, and you can just simply paste that npm install Bootstrap. So you can see the Bootstrap has been installed. And to configure the Bootstrap, so let me just go into the new tab and just search for Bootstrap, and just go into the first link from getbootstrap.com. So if you just click onto this docs here, so you will be able to find the download option here. So just click on download, and if you just scroll down, so you can see the CDN link. So you can just simply copy the CDN link from here. So just copy here, and again go into this public, inside the public index.html, and just below this, so just above this title, so you can just simply paste that, just simply save that. So once you do that, this should be fine. So you can see, so on link and script are added, and you can also change the name into something like full stack, and just save. And if you just go into this React app, so you can see the full stack name here, and also the React app text has been changed because of Bootstrap. So once this is done, so now let me just simply go into this source. So inside this source, so let me just create a folder called get user. So you can just type get user. So inside here, so I will just create a file, JSX file called user.jsx. And similarly for styling, so we will create a file called user.css. And inside this user.jsx, so I will just create a simple functional component by using the React snippet. So for this React snippet, so you just need to make sure to install this ES7 React native snippet. So once you install that, so if you just type on JSX file or any JS file, so if you just type RAFCE, so this should create this functional component. So let me just change this into something like user table. So here we will be later adding the user table. So if you just save, and also you just need to add this user JSX into the app.js. So let me just go into the app.js, and instead of this React app, so we just want to import the user. So you can see the user, so just click enter. So this has automatically imported user from the get user / user. So let me just close this one, and if I just save and go into the React application here, so you can see the user table which is being displayed from this user.jsx. So once this is done, so let's start creating a table. So for that, let me just simply clear this, and instead of this, so let me just open the parenthesis. So inside here, so I will create a div with the class name something called user table. So this is for creating a simple table. So inside here, so we just have to create a table. So let's type something like table and the class name. So the class name will be table, and you can just simply type table bordered. So since we have installed the Bootstrap, so this table and table bordered will give the table by using the Bootstrap. So first of all, let's create some content here. So this will automatically create the table. So first of all, let's create a table head, and inside the table head, so we will just type table row, and inside table row, so we will just type table heading. The scope will be column, and so we can just give the name something like symbol number or serial number, whatever you say. So you can see the serial number, and similarly another table heading would be name. So we will just type name, so you can see the name. And similarly, so let me just simply copy this, and let me just paste it again, and instead of this name, so we will just type email, and instead of this name, so we will just type address, and at last, so we'll just type actions. So this actions is for basically update and delete button here. So we will later add that, but before that, so we just have to style our table as well. And also let me just add the table data. So for that, we can just simply type just below this table here, you can just simply type table body, and inside table body, so we will just simply write table row, and inside here, so let me just simply type table data. So we will just make it dynamic later on. So for now, you can just simply type John, and you can just simply type the table data instead of this email. So you can just simply type john@gmail.com. So here you just need to simply type address. So you can just simply give something like Canada. And the last one is actions. So in actions, so we will later be adding the two buttons. For now, you can just simply type update and delete. So let me just save. So you can see on symbol number, so you can see one, name John, email, address, and action buttons. So first of all, so let's style this table so that it looks a little bit better. So for that, you can just simply go into this user.css, and here, so we can just style, but before that, you just need to import the user.css into this user.jsx. So here at the top, you can just simply type import and just open this quote and just type /user.css, and just go into this user.css, and let's start styling this user table. So first of all, so let's style the user table. So here just type .user table, and let's give width something like 60%. And so if you see, so this has changed the width to 60%. And similarly, just give the margin something like 50 pixel at top, and at right and left, you can just simply type auto. So this will automatically adjust the margin. And similarly, so let's give the background color white. So you can see the background color white. And similarly, so let's give the padding something like 50 pixel. So you can see the padding has been set 50 pixel here. And similarly, let's give the border radius something like 5 pixel. So you can see at the edge, so you can see the rounded corner, or you can just give the 10 pixel as well. So let's see how it looks. So you can see, so this has created more rounded, so it looks better. And finally, so let's give the shadow as well. So just type box shadow. And so first of all, so in box shadow, so we just have to simply type the horizontal offset. So let's give something like 1 pixel, and let's give vertical offset something like 1 pixel, and you can just give the blur offset something like 8 pixel. So you can see, so this is looking like this. And also let's give some color representation, so with the RGBA. So just type RGBA, and inside here, so we don't want it to be red, green or blue, so you just give 000. And at last, so just give the transparency of this black color. So the transparency of black color gives something like 0.065, and you can see, so now it looks a little better here. So this is how you give the box shadow. So once this is done, so let me again go to the user.jsx. So inside here you can see the table. So let's do some styling with the table inside the user table. So the table is inside the user table, so we just have to simply type dot user table and just type table only, and here just give the width 100% and just give the margin top something like 30 pixel, since we will be adding the button inside here. So let's add the button. So for that, you can just simply go into the Bootstrap here and search for button. So if you just scroll down, so you can see the different colors of button. So I just want it to be primary, so copy the first one. So since primary is in the first one, and the primary is basically for this blue color, so let me just go into the user.jsx, and before this table, so let me just simply paste that and save. So in full stack, so you can see the button primary. So let's call it something like add user. So we will just make it as a add user button. So we will later add the icons here as well, but for now let me just style this table. So for that, let me just first of all style this table heading. So let me just go into the user.css. So inside here, so let me just type something like dot user table and just type table, and inside table, so you can see this table head, and we just want to style this table heading. So just simply type table head, just type table head and just type th, and inside here, so we just want to give the background color something like dark cyan. So just type dark cyan. So you can see, so this has changed the background color of this table heading. And similarly, so you can see the text is on black, so we just want it to be white. So just give the color white. So this should have changed this color of the text as well. And similarly, so we just want to style the table data as well. So let's make the text at the center of this table. So for that, let me just go into the user.css and similarly just type the user table, and inside table body. So the table data is inside the table body. So inside here, so we just want to give first of all padding 10 pixel. So now it looks little better. And similarly, so we just want the text to be align center. So just type text align center, and so you can see the text has been aligned to the center. And similarly, just type vertical align middle. So just type vertical align middle. So I think this is it for the styling for this user.jsx. So once this is done, so now we will be replacing this update and delete with the actual font or some icons. And here also in add user, so we will also add the font of some icon here. So to add the font awesome, so we just have to simply click a new tab here and search for so let me just first of all go into the npm.js here and search for font awesome. So font awesome, and simply click enter, and so this one is the font awesome. So let me just simply click here to copy this, and let me just click on plus sign here and simply go into the client again, and let me just paste that and click enter. So this will install this font awesome. So here you can see, so this has added this font awesome. And similarly, so we just have to import the CDN link as well. So let me just search for font awesome. So just search for font awesome CDN, and just go into this second link from CDN.js. So just go here, and you just need to simply click onto this first one. So let me just click onto this copy link tag. So just simply copy that and just go into this public index.html and just go below this script and simply paste that and save. So you can see, so we have added this font awesome CDN as well. And now we can just finally go into the font awesome. So just go into the font awesome. So just search for font awesome icons and just go into this first link from fontawesome.com. So here you can search for icons. So first of all, so we will be adding the update one. So for update, we can just simply type for paint to square. So just search for paint to square. So you can see, so this is for update. So let me just simply copy this one. So simply copy this and just go into this user.jsx, and instead of this update, so we will just simply go inside here and simply paste that. So if I just go here on the full stack, so you can see, so the sign here, the update sign. So similarly, so let me just also replace this delete with the another icon. So we will just search for trash. So let me just search for trash here, and let me just simply copy this. So just copy this and paste here and save this. So you can see, the delete button here as well. And also we just have to add the bootstrap button. So for that, again, go to the bootstrap, and here, so we just have to search for a button, and let me just simply copy the red one for delete. So the red one is danger. So let me just simply copy that and let me just paste here, and instead of this danger, so we just have to paste this icon which we have just copied. So let me just simply cut this one and paste inside here. Now it is looking better. And similarly for this update as well, so we will just copy the info, so which is here, so this color info. So let me just simply paste inside here, and instead of this info, so we will just simply cut this and paste inside here and simply save. So you can see, so this is looking better. So we will just fix this space here, but before that, we will also add this add button into this add user as well. So for that, again, go into this font awesome icons, and here you just need to simply search for user plus. So just search for user plus and just go into this first one, user plus, and simply copy this and just go at the top here and just beside here. So just simply paste that and again go here. So you can see, so this is looking quite better here. So now to give the space between these two buttons, so let me just again go to the user.jsx and just go below here, and here on table data, just keep the class name something called action buttons. So just type action buttons, and let me just simply copy this one and just go inside this user.css and just type dot action buttons and just type button. So just keep the margin 0 and 10 pixel. So you can see, so this is now looking better here. So once this is done, so here you can see, so we are getting this data from the from here. So this is just a static data, so we just want it to get it from database. So we just want it to make the dynamic data. So for that, we will be using the Axios. So Axios is basically a JavaScript library for making HTTP requests. So first of all, let's install Axios. So for that, go to the browser here and go to npm here and just search for Axios, and here just click here, and you can see, so this is the npm install Axios command here. So you can just simply go here and just go into this client. So let me just clear the terminal, and here, so just simply paste that and click enter. So this will install the Axios here. So you can see the Axios had been added. So once you install the Axios, so now we will be writing the code for fetching the data from the database, or we will be connecting our application with the backend. So first of all, so we will just define variables. So just type const So just define users and set users. So the users is basically for current state of the component, and the set users is basically for which allows you to update the state stored in the users variable. So here, so we will be now using the hook called use state. So just type use state. So this will automatically import here. So if you're not able to see this, you can just manually type it as well. And inside here, so we will be defining the empty array. So just type empty. So this use state is basically used to initialize the state variable users as an empty array. So once this is done, so now we will be using the hook called use effect. So just type use effect. So use effect is basically a hook which is basically used in React for managing the side effect in the functional component. So let me just go inside here. So inside here, so we will be creating a asynchronous function called fetch data. So just type fetch data, and let's define async. And inside here, so we will just create a try catch block. So just type try catch block here. So inside the catch block, so we will be just simply printing the error. So just type console.log and just type error while fetching data, and just simply print the error here. So just type error. And inside this try block, so first of all, so we will be getting the data from the database from the endpoint which we have used in backend. So this is the endpoint, so we will be using this and we will also use the Axios here. So you can just simply use the Axios by just typing await. So we will just use await here and just type Axios. So before using this Axios, so we just have to make sure to import the Axios here as well. So import Axios from Axios. So since we have already installed Axios, and just type Axios dot, so we just have to type get. So this will basically fetch the data from the database. And here, so we just have to simply copy it from here. So just copy this and paste inside here. So this will fetch the data. And now for testing, so let's store this into the some variables. So just type const. So let me just store it inside this variable called response. So once you store this into the response, so you can just simply set it using set users. So set users, so you simply call set users, and here, so just type response the data, and here, so at bottom, so just simply type fetch data. So you simply call this fetch data inside here, which will basically initiate the data fetching process. And inside here, so we just have to add the empty array. So by adding empty array, so we can ensure that the effect will run only once. So this use effect will run only once. So once this is done, so just scroll down and just come inside this table body. Inside here, so we will be now using the map function to iterate the array. So just simply open this curly braces and just type users dot map, and inside here, so we will be using the user and index. So just type index and just create an arrow function inside here and simply return. And inside here, so we just have to simply copy it from here to here. So just simply copy the table row from here to here. So simply you can cut as well. So just cut and paste here. So you can see, so we have copied here and paste inside this return. So here, instead of this one, so we will be adding the index. So just type index plus 1. So since the index start from 0, so plus 1 will make it start from 1. And similarly here, so we will be using the users dot name, and similarly here, so we just want to add the user email. So just type user dot email, and here, so user dot address. So once this is done, so now if I just go into the application, so here you can see the error, so which is expected error. So this is saying something like error while fetching the data, or this is saying access control allow origin. So now to fix this error, so we just have to simply install the course. So for that, just go into this npm.js and source for course. So this is the Node.js course, and simply copy these and paste inside this, not in a client, so we just have to install inside the server. So just go inside server and simply install this course. And if you just go into this package.json, so here you can see the course has been successfully installed. So let me just go inside the index.js here. So just simply import the course from course, and here, so we just have to simply use the course. So just type app.use and just type course and open the parentheses. And once this is done, so if I just go into the full stack here and reload the application, so now you can see the application is working fine here. So now if I just add one more data from this postman, so let me just go into this post here, and instead of this demo user, so let me just call it demo only, and demo 123, and simply say Canada. And if I just click on send, so the data has been added into the database. So if I just reload here, so you can see the data is added successfully. So now if I just go into the application and reload, so you can see the data is loading successfully and it is dynamic as well. So I think this is working completely fine. So we will later add the auto reload feature as well. So before that, so the dynamic feature or the Axios is working successfully and it is fetching the data from the database as well. So now we will be adding the React router DOM, so that whenever I click onto this add user, so this should display the add user form. So for that we will be using the React router DOM. So just go into this npm.js and source for React router DOM. So this is the React router DOM. So just simply copy these and again go into this client side here, not here, so here, and let me just simply install it inside this client. So here you can see the React router DOM has been successfully added. So once this is done, so now if I just go into this app.js, so instead of this directly displaying the user, so we just have to set up the route here. So for that we will just define inside this app. So first of all we will just create a browser router instance. So for that just type const route equals and just type create browser. So just type browser router, and before that, so we just have to import the browser router from React router DOM. So just type import create browser router from React router DOM, and inside here, so we will just define the route for path. So let me just simply type path and just type /route, and so whenever we type slash on 3000 localhost 3000, so we just have to display the element. So just type element user, so just type user slash and simply close this one, and this is showing some error because so we just have to enclose this inside the curly braces. So let me just open the curly braces and similarly save here. So inside here, so inside this return, so we just have to simply remove this user, and inside here, so we just have to provide the router instance to the router provider. So just type router provider. So just type router provider and make sure to import here as well, and just type the props router route, and here, so just simply close this one. And once this is done, and if I just save and if I just go into the full stack, so here if I just reload, so this is working fine. So whenever we type /add, so we just want it to open the add user form. So for that we just have to simply create a new folder. So let me just go into the source, and here, so just type add user, and inside here, so let's make a file, something called add user.jsx, and let's make a functional component rafc, and we can just call it something like user form. So now if I just go into this app.js, so here let me just simply type curly braces and just type path and simply type /add, and just type element, and here so we just have to write something like add user. So just type add user and make sure to import this and just type slash. So here you can see the element add user has been added, and now we just have to configure on the button. So the button is inside the user, so just go into this get user. So here you can see the add user at the top, so you can see the add user here. So whenever we click onto this button add user, so we just have to make it to display the add user form. So for that, instead of buttons, we just have to use the link, and make sure to import this link from React Autodome. So this will automatically do whenever you type, or if you're not able to import, so you can just manually type as well. So just type link and just type to, and here so we just have to give the exact path which we have given into this app.js, which is /add. So you can just simply copy it from here as well. So just go into this user.jsx, and here just simply paste inside this to. And if I just save here, and now if I just go into this full stack and click onto this add user, so you can see, so this is opening the add user form. So this React Autodome is working completely fine here. So once we set up the React Autodome, so now we will start creating the add user form. So for that, just click onto this add user. So instead of this add user form, so we will just actually create the add user form. So for that, just go into this add user.jsx. So here let's create a add user. So just type add user.css as well. And inside this add user.jsx, so let's start writing the code. So let me just clear this, and just inside here, so let me just create a div and just give the class name something called add user. And inside here, so we just have to first of all create a heading. So you can just give the heading something like add new user. So you can see add a new user. So we will later do the styling part. So first of all, let's create a basic HTML form here. So inside here, so just create a form and just give the class name something called add user form. And similarly inside here, let's create a input group. So just type div class name and just give the name something like input group. So just give input group, and inside here, so let's give a label for name. So we will be basically adding the three components: the name, address, and email. So just type label HTML for name and just give name. So now let's make our input tag. So just type input, and the type will be, so you can just simply close like this, and just type type will be the text. And so we can just give the ID, name, and just give the name, and the name will be name. And you can just give the autocomplete off as well, so that it won't autocomplete automatically. And you can just give the placeholder something like enter your name. And if I just save, so you can see, so the add new user and the name, and you can see enter your name. So just like this name, so you can just simply copy from here to, so you can just simply copy from this input group to div and just simply paste twice. And instead of this name, so we just have to set it email. So just type email, and the type will be email, the ID will be email, and the name also will be email. And just type enter your email. So you can see enter your email. And similarly, so we just want to type the address as well. So just type HTML for address, and the type of text will be the text, and the ID will be address, and the name will be address. And here you can just simply type address here. So just type that. So you can see, so this is looking fine here. So once this is done, so we just have to add the submit button as well. So just type div, and we will just give the class name input group for this as well. So just type input group, and inside here, so we'll just copy the icon or button from here. So just simply copy this primary. So let me just copy here, and you can just say something like submit. And if I just save here and go here, you can see the submit button is also displaying here. So once this is done, so let me just style this add user form. So for that, we just have to simply import the add user.css here. So just type import and just type dot add user.css. So now for styling, so let me just simply go into this add user.css. So inside here, so first of all, so let's start by styling from this add user form. So just type dot add user, and first of all, let's give the background color something like white. So the background color white, and so we just want to give the width 25% only. So just type width 25%, and so you can see the width is 25% now. And let's give the margin. So the margin, let's give margin, and the top and bottom, so you can just give something like 20 pixel, and left and right you can just give auto. Yeah, here you can see the top and bottom is for 50 pixel, and so this has automatically adjusted the left and right margin. So similarly, let's give the padding as well. So just give the padding 40 pixel. So you can see the padding has already been applied. And similarly, so we can just give the border radius as well. So just give the border radius something like 5 pixel. So you can see, so this has made some rounded changes here. And similarly, so we can just give the shadow as well. So you can just give the box shadow something like 1 pixel, and also 8 pixel here. So just give 8 pixel and just give the color, and the color is basically so 0, 0, 0 and 0.065. So now you can see there is some shadow effect as well in the background. So once this is done, so now we just have to style the input group. So the input group is inside the add user form. So you can see this add user form and input group. So let me just style this input group. So for that, just type dot. So here just type dot add user form and just type dot, so which is inside this add user form. So just copy this input group. So just type input group. So first of all, so we will just give, so this is basically an input group. So we just want to give the width something like 100%. So we just want to arrange the elements in column layout. So for that, just give the display flex, and similarly, so the flex direction, so the flex direction will be column. So here you can see, so now this is looking a little bit better. And so once this is done, so now we just have to give the styling for label. So the label is basically this one. So we just want to give the margin top. So just give the margin top of this label a little bit like 10 pixel. So you can just say the same thing. So let me just copy this input group and user form. So the label is inside that. So just type label, and you can just give the margin bottom or top. So you can just give 5 pixel. So you can see now there is some gaps. I think the margin top will be better. So let's give margin top. So now it is looking a little bit better. So similarly, so we just want to give the styling for input as well. So similarly, let's paste the user form input group, and the input is inside the add user form input group, and there is input. So just type input, and inside this input, so just type margin bottom. So just give the margin bottom something like 5 pixel. So 5 pixel, and similarly, so you can just give the padding something like 10 pixel. So now it is looking quite better here. And now, so we just have to style for the S3. So this one, add new user. So the add user S3 is basically inside the add user, and there's S3. So just simply type dot add user and just type S3. And inside here, so first of all, so let's give the margin top 30 pixel because we will be adding one more button here. So just type margin top 30 pixel. And here, so we will add the button. So first of all, let's add the button. So for that, go here, and so we will be basically adding this secondary one. So let's go inside add user and simply add inside this add user. So just paste it inside here, so you can see. So now we will just say something like back, and here, so we will also add the font awesome icon. So we will just type backward. So just type backward. So we'll just put this icon. So just copy this and go inside here. So just simply paste here. And now if I just go into full stack, so you can see, so this is looking better. So let's give some space here. So just give it space. So now this is looking better. And instead of this button, so we just have to type link to. So we just want it to go into this home page. So just give slash. So now it should look better. So if I just click onto this back button, so this should redirect us to this one. And if I just click onto this add user, so this should redirect us to this form. So now let's do styling for this S3, the heading one. So let's go into this add user.css. So here we have already given the margin top 30 pixel. So let's give the text alignment center. So this is in the center now. So similarly, so let's give the font weight. So just give font weight bold. So this is looking a little bit better now. And similarly, so we just have to give the color as well. So just give the color something like dark cyan. So the color is dark cyan. And similarly, so let's transform this into the uppercase. So just type something like tricks transform. So you can just give the uppercase. And similarly, so we just have to give the shadow as well. So you can just simply copy this box shadow from here. So just type box shadow from here and simply paste it inside here. So instead of this box, so we can just replace this with the text shadow. And here, so instead of this 8 pixels, just keep 2 pixel, and instead of this 0.065, you can just keep 0.7. And now it should look better now. So you can see add new user with the beautiful looking shadow and the color here. And similarly, so let's give some margin top of this submit button. So for that, let me again go here, and the button is basically inside the input group. So let me just go into this add user.css. So let me just copy this, and so instead of this input, so just type button and just give the margin or margin top something like 5 pixel. And now you can see, so this is looking a little bit better here, or you can just keep something like 8 pixel. So now this is looking better. So we have completed the add user form as well. So now we will be working on how you can just send the data from this add user form to the database. So once this is done, so let's write a program to send the data from the user data from to the database. So for that, let me again go to the client side here, so into this add user.jsx. So inside here, so first of all, so we just have to create an initial state for the user form. So for that, you can just simply type const and just type users, and inside here, so just open the curly braces and just create name, email, and address. So just type address. And once this is done, so just go below here, and also, so we just have to use the use state hook, so which is basically to manage the user form data. So just type const, so just type user and set user function. So we will later set the user or update the user, but for now you can just use the use state hook, and inside here, so we will just pass the users. So below here, so let's simply create a function called input handler, so which is basically for handling the changes in the input field. So first of all, so we'll just create a const and just type input handler. So just create an input handler function and just pass the parameter something called e, which is for event. So the event is basically the event object triggered by the input change. And so let's create an arrow function here, and inside here, so just type const name and value. So just type e.target. So either target refers to the element that triggered the event, and this name represents the name attribute of the input field, and this value represents the value. So this name is the name attribute, and the value is basically the current value entered by the user. So once this is done, so now we will be using the spread operator. So we will be using the spread operator to update the user state with the new value of the property specified by this name. So for that, just type set user. So just type set user, which is provided by the React hooks. So we have already used set user here. So here, so we will just type something like dot 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 user, which is basically a split operator, and inside here, so we will pass name and value. So here the split operator is used to copy the current value of user state and then update the specified property of the new value. So once this is done, so now just go below here, just below this ID, and just type on change event. So just type on change. So on change event, so whenever we type something, so we just have to call this input handler function. So similarly, just simply copy this and just paste below here, and similarly paste below here as well. So to test this input handler, so we can just simply add console log here just before this. So we can just simply type console.log and just type name comma value, and just go into this full stack and open the inspect element here. And now if I just try to type something like here demo, so you can see the name is typing successfully, demo@gmail.com, and the demo address. So this is working fine, the input handler is working fine. So now let's write the code for adding the user into the database whenever we click onto the submit button. So for that, so first of all, so we just have to go into this form here and just simply type on submit. So just type on submit. So we just have to call the functions. So let's create a function inside here. So let's name it something like submit form. So just type const submit form, and let's make it asynchronous function. So inside here, just pass a event, and so we just need to prevent the default value. So just type prevent default. So we cannot type the empty values. So if there is no empty value, so we just have to simply post into the database. So for that, just type await. So we will be using the axios.post. So make sure to import this Axios as well. And so we just have to put the URL here. So just go into this postman. So since we are using this URL API/user, so let me just simply copy that URL and just type user. So once you send the data into the database, so we can just give some message, something like .then, and just give the response. So just give the response in console, something like the user created successfully. So we will later get this message from the backend, so for displaying into the React hot toast. For now, so for simply for demo, so we are doing this. And so if there is any error, so we can just simply catch the error by typing catch. Just catch the error and just type error, and just simply give console.log and just type error. So simply save that. And once this is done, so whenever the user is created, so we just have to navigate into the home page. So if I just see here, so this is showing some error because on submit we are working on submit. So let's type here, type the same name, submit form. So let me just paste inside here. So this should look good now. So whenever we click onto the submit by typing the name, email, and address, so we just have to go into the home page, and similarly, so the data should have been posted into the database. So for that, so we have used the axios.post for navigating. So we can just use the use navigate. So just go at the top here and just type use navigate, and so here, so we will be using the use navigate here. So just go below here and just type const and just simply type navigate and just type use navigate. So now we can use the use navigate once the data is successfully created. So once the user is created successfully, so we can just navigate into the home page. So once this is done, so if I just go at the bottom here, so here you can see the type of the button is button, so we just have to change this into submit. So just go here and change it into the type will be submit, and if you just save here, and if you just go into the browser here and click into this add user, and let me just also open the console here. So let me just reload. So we will also fix this one as well. So this is saying the class determine class name, so we just have to change the class name as well. So here just type the name something like ram, and email something like ram@gmail.com, and address you can say something like India. And if you just click on submit, so you can see, so this is displaying fine here. So you can see ram@gmail.com, and you can also see India. And similarly, so you can also see the message the user created successfully as well. And also let me just check into the database as well. So let me just go into the database, and if I just reload here, so you can see, so this has been added into the database as well. So this is working completely fine. So once this is done, so now let's set up the React hot toast. So for that, again, go here. So whenever we click into this add user and click on submit, so we just want to appear some message something like user created successfully or something like that. You can just do that using the React hot toast. So for that, just go into this npm js. So here you just need to search for React hot toast. So just click here. So this is the React hot toast. So let me just simply copy this one from here. And so here, so we just want to install inside the client. So just go inside here. So just simply paste here and click enter. So this should install into our package.json. So here you can see the React hot toast dependency has been installed. So now to set up, just go into the index.js here. So just go into this index.js, and here simply import toaster. So just type toaster from React hot toast, and just below this app, so you just need to type toaster. So once you import this toaster, so now, so we just have to first of all fix the code in backend. So since if I just go into the Postman, so here you can see, so whenever we insert new user something like 34 and send, so the response is coming in this JSON format. So we just want to change the into something like the user created successfully message only. So for that, just go into the server. So just go into the controller, user controller here, and go at the top here. So instead of this save data, so we just want the response to be something like the response.status 200. And in JSON, so instead of this save data, so you can just simply copy this. So just copy and comment this and simply paste inside here. So instead of this save data, so you can just simply say something like message, and in message, so you can just say something like the user created successfully, and just simply save this one. So now if I just go into the Postman and try to post the new data 341, you can just give anything, and so here you can see the message user created successfully. So now we have fixed the backend code. So now again go into the front end here. So just go into this add user, and here simply import the toast. So just import toast from the React hot toast, and just go below here. So here you can see on response, so we have said something like the user created successfully on console. So instead of this, so just simply type toast. So since we have already imported toast, and just type success, and inside here, so just simply type response the data dot message. So since we are sending the message there, so let me just type position. So you can just keep the position something like top right, and if I just save, so now this should work. So if I just go into the full stack application here, and now if I just type some name something like John, and email something like demo 666, or you can just keep any email which is unique, and you can just keep the address US and click on submit. So you can see the user created successfully, and the user has been successfully created as well. And if you just check on the database as well in MongoDB Compass. So you can see, so it has been added successfully. So the React hot toast is also working fine here. So once you add the React hot toast, so let's start working on to this update button. So whenever I click onto this update button, so this should open this user, and also so this should open the update user form. So let me just go into this application here, and here simply create a new folder called update user. So just type update user, and inside here, so let's create a file called update.jsx, and similarly, so let's create another file called update.css for styling. And inside this update.jsx, so let's create a functional component. So let's create a functional component, and let's call it update form. And here also, so let's import the update.css for styling. So just import update.css. so we will later create this. So since we have already created the form for add user, so we will just simply copy that form. But for now, so let's first of all fix the routing. So for fixing the routing, just go into this app.js. So inside here, so first of all, so we just have to add the path. So just add the path. So the path will be basically update / ID. So since we are passing the ID into the URL, and also similarly, so we just have to pass the element. So the element will be basically whenever we click into this update button, so this will navigate us to this update / ID of the specific user. So let's type update. So just import the update, and so now this should be fine here. So similarly, so just go into this get user and user.jsx. So if you just go down here, so you can see the button for update. So this is the button for update. So just simply change this into link. First of all, so just change this into link, and also make sure to import here as well. And so just type link to, and so we just have to link to update. So since we are passing the ID, so we just have to give the backtick sign here and /update, and beside here just type plus. And so since we are passing the user ID, so just type user._id. So this _id is basically a ID of the MongoDB database. So since we will be displaying this ID, so just we are just writing this _id. Now this should be fine, I guess. So let me just go into this React application here, and if I just click onto this update button, so you can see, so this ID is displaying here, and you can see the update form. So now we will be working onto this update form. So for update form, so we will basically copy the code from this add user. So just go into the add user and simply copy the whole code from here. So just simply copy the whole code, and you can just simply go into this update.jsx and simply paste inside here. And here, so we just have to change some of the things. First of all, so we just have to change this into update.css, and also we don't need this add user, so we just have to change this into update user. And below here, so just simply change this into update user. And similarly, so instead of this add user here, so we just have to type something like update user. And if I just save and go here and reload this, so you can see, so this has already opened this update user form. So if I just click here, so this is also opening the update user form. Before moving ahead, but the update user styling is working fine, but we haven't styled in update.css. This is because so we have got the same class name here. So if you want to add, you can just simply copy from add user.css to update.css. So it will still work fine. So now we will be making some changes on this onto this update user form. So just go into the application here, and here, so first of all, so we just have to set the initial value of the form. So for that, so we will be getting the extract the ID parameter from the URL. So for that, so we will be using the use params from the React Router DOM. So for that, so let me just simply type use params here. So first of all, let's import use params. And below here, so just simply type const. So let me just extract the id, and so id is basically we are grabbing it from the parameter. So let me just simply type use params. So once you get the id, so now we will be writing the code to get the information of that specific id. So for that we will be using the get method, so and Axios. So for that, below here, so let me just simply type use effect. So just type use effect, and inside here, so just simply type Axios.get, and for getting the specific id, so we will be using the backtick again here. So for getting the user with the specific id, so we had created this API. So let me just try to grab this id from here, and if I just put it here and click on send, so you can see, so we are getting the user with the specific id. So let me just copy this one from here and simply paste inside here. And so since we will be passing the id, so just simply type dollar and pass the id which we have just extracted from the parameter. So once this is done, on response, so if this Axios.get is successful, so in response, so we will be setting the user with that specific id. So let me just simply set user and simply type response.data. And if there's any error, so we just have to catch the error. So just type dot catch, and here, so just simply type error and simply console log the error. So just console log and simply print the error. And here, so we just have to pass the id. So just pass id. So what this id means is that the effect will run whenever the id variable changes. So once this is done, so we just have to now set the initial value of the input field. So for that, we will be just typing the value. So just type value and just type user dot name. And similarly, so in value here, so we just have to type user dot email. And here, so in value, so we will be just typing the user dot address. So once this is done, so if I just click onto the specific user, so this should now display this id here. So you can see the id, and you can see the initial value John Doe. So this is before updating. So we will later create the function for updating, but for now, so this is working fine. So similarly, so if I just click onto this RAM, so you can see, so this is loading the initial value. So now for actually updating the user, so we just have to make some changes onto the submit form. So first of all, so we just have to change this post into put. So since we are updating the user, and instead of this link, so we just have to first of all do the backcode here. So since we are using the id, so we will be using the id. So let me just clear this one, and if I just go into the postman on put here, so we can see, so we are updating the user like this. So let me just simply copy this one and simply paste inside here. And so since we will be passing this id here, so just simply type dollar id. So since we have already grabbed the id from the use params, so here you can see, so this will show the toast success message. But since we haven't set the success message in the backend, so let me just go into the backend first. So let me just go into the user controller, and on update user, so if you just go down here on this response, so we just have to change into the something like let me just grab it from the add user, which we have done before. So let me just simply grab it from here and simply paste below here. And so instead of user created successfully, so we can say something like user updated successfully. So now if I just check on postman, so now if I just try to update the user, so let me just first of all get the user and try to update this user with this id. So let me just grab the id from here and simply paste inside here. And so if I just go into the get here, so you can see the name is John Doe, email is john@gmail.com. So let me just grab this one from here, and let me just go into the put, and let me just simply paste inside here. And so let me just clear this, and instead of this John Doe, so let me just say something like John Doe updated. and zone updated. Email also zone updated, and let me just say this updated. And if I just click on send, so you can see the message user updated successfully, and so this should have also updated onto the database as well. So let me just reload this one, so you can see, so this has updated successfully. But in front end, so let me just go into the front end here. So here onto this update.jsx, and now this should be working fine. So if I just try to update this, so if I just reload this, so you can see Zondo updated here now. So let me just try to update it from here. So let me just remove this updated and click on submit. So you can see the user updated successfully message under the top. This is from React Hot Toast, and the name is updated. Similarly, let's try to update the email. So let me just try to write something like JO only, and let me just remove this one as well and click on submit. So you can see the user updated successfully and the user has been updated. So let me just try to update this one. So let me just try to update this into Lena, and just try to update this into Lena, and let me just try to write address something like Australia. And if I just click on submit, the user updated successfully, and you can see the user has been updated as well. And if you just check onto the database as well, so if you just reload here, so you can now see the updated data here. So this is how you can implement the update into the front end as well. So we have now implemented successfully the update functionality and add user functionality as well. So you can also see the getting user from the database. So this is for get. So now we are finally about to start the delete functionality, and our CRUD application will be completed. So now let's get into the delete functionality. So now for delete functionality, let me just first of all fix the code into the backend. So let me just go into the user controller, and in delete user, so you can already see on message, so user deleted successfully. So it means so we didn't have to fix anything into the backend. So let me just go into this user.jsx, and here, so let me just create a function called delete user. So let me just simply create a function const delete user, and let me make it asynchronous, and let's pass the user ID as a parameter. And inside here, so let me just type await, and we will be using the exist.delete. And for URL, so we will be using the backquote here as well. And so here you can see this is the URL for deleting the user, and here so we just have to simply pass the user ID. So just type dollar, and so just type user ID. So once the user is deleted, so we just have to filter out the user. So whenever we delete the user, so we just have to filter out the deleted user. So for that, so we will be just writing the code dot then. So just type dot then and just type response. So in response, so we will just set the users. So just type set users, and so we will just set the user with the previous user. So just type previous user, and so we will just filter out by just typing previous user dot filter. And inside here, so we'll just pass the user, and also we will just compare this with the user ID, the pass user ID with the provided user ID. So let me just first of all type user ID. So this code will basically remove the user from the list of users by checking the user's ID and comparing it with the provided user ID. So this is the provided user ID, and this is the user ID. And if there is no matching between them, so it keeps the user into the list, otherwise it removes them. So once this is done, so now we should be done here. And also, so once this is deleted, so we just want to display into the toast. So just type toast. So also make sure to import this toast from this React Hot Toast, and just type toast.success. And here, so we just have to type response.data.message. So in message, so since we have set, so the user deleted successfully, so just type message message. And here, so let's give the position. So just type position. So just give position something like top right. And so here, just below here, so we just have to catch the error. So just type catch. So if there is any error, so we just have to display the error message. So inside here, so just type console.log and just display the error. And so we have created the function for delete user. So below here you can see on delete button, so this is the delete button. So here, so on button, so we just have to simply type on click. So let me just simply type so let me just click enter, and here just type on click. So whenever we click onto this button, so we just want to call that delete user function and also pass the user ID. So let me just simply type delete user, so which is the function we are passing, and the parameter we are passing is user ID. So here you can see the parameter we are passing is user ID. So we just have to simply type the user dot underscore ID, and let me just simply save this one. And so if I just reload this, so this is saying response is not defined. So let me just go above here. So this error is because so we have to make this toaster success just below here. So let me just simply save here and also remove this. And now if I just save this one, so you can just see the code here. So we have just inserted this toast dot success inside here, so on the response. So now it should be working. So now if I just try to delete this last one, so if I just click here, so you can see the user deleted successfully. And let me just delete all of it, and let me just keep only one here. And if I just go into the MongoDB compass, so it should have deleted from the database as well. So let me just reload here, so you can see so only one data is remaining here. So now we have successfully completed our core application. So let's try to test everything from here. So let me just click on add user. So you can just say something like new user and just type new @gmail.com, and you can just say country, and or you can just say something like USA. And if I just click on submit, so you can see the user created successfully pop up here, and the user has been updated. And you can just update the user something like new only, new 123, and you can just say something like Nepal and click on submit. So you can see the user updated successfully, and you can see the user has been updated. And if I just want to delete this, so you can see the user deleted successfully, and it has been deleted here as well. So there's only final touches are remaining. So if whenever I click onto this delete button, and if all the users are deleted, so there's only table heading remaining. So instead of this table heading, so we just want to display something like no data to display or please add user. So for that we will be using the ternary operator. So just go into this user.jsx inside this get user, and just go below this link or just above this table, and here so simply use the ternary operator for users.length. So if there is no user, so if the user length is 0, so we will be just displaying the message something like so let me just make it inside the div and just give the class name something like no data, and let me just put it inside here and simply close this div. And inside here, so let me just simply add heading something like no data to display, and let me just add paragraph something like please add new user. And so if there is no data, so we will just display this message, and if there is data, so we will just have to display the table. So let me just simply chord this one. So just press here, so whenever you press here, so this will show this table only. So just select this and just right click and simply cut and paste inside this one. So just paste inside here. And so whenever we save this one, and also so we just have to style this no data display as well. So you can already see that there is no data to display, and please add new user. So let me just bring it into the center. So for that, so we will just use this no data class name. So let me just go into this user.css and just type no data. And so for styling, so we'll just give something like margin top 20 pixel, and also we will just align the text into the center. So now you can see, so this is looking better. So whenever I click onto this add user, so let me just type something like John Doe, John @gmail.com, and Canada and click enter. So the user has been added and the table is displaying. So whenever I click onto this delete, so if there's no data, so this will say no data to display, so please add new user. So this is how it works. So this is how you can create a full stack CRUD application or Stack application using MongoDB, Express, Node.js and React. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, be sure to like, share and subscribe. I will see you in the next one.